So far away.
I know. Look at this ceiling. Oh my god. This looks creepy.
Can we scoot it forward? No.
Yeah, we can. Partially.
But keep this video. I think we should put it up again.
Hey, it's me, it's Eric, and you are watching One Liner, the show where we talk to comedians about their tattoos. I am currently quarantined in Orange County, and I was like, you know what? It's time for another one-liner, because I can't leave my house, but I can sit down and give you guys some beautiful conversations with comedians about their tattoos. But yeah, I hope all of you are safe. I hope all of you are washing your hands. I hope, try to find money. I don't know what to say about that. But I'm very excited. Something to lift your spirits on this day is this episode with Monica Nevi. We did a show a couple weeks ago, and it was a great time. We did a couple shows over in Richland, Washington. It was great. It was wonderful. Check out her podcast. It's about hugging and the life. It's wonderful. I've talked enough. Let's watch this episode of One Liner.
Watch the rest of the video, or the whole thing. I don't know.
Watch all of it, please.
Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Welcome to One Liner, the show where we talk to comedians about their tattoos. We are currently here in Richland, Washington.
Obviously.
The Tri-Cities, the beautiful aesthetic, the trees, they're beautiful. And another person who's super cool, super funny with me in Richland is Monica Nevi.
Oh,
That's you. We've known each other for a while, but I think this is our first time meeting.
I was gonna say it's so weird because I've had people message me and been like, you know Erik Escobar, and I'm like, yeah, I know him. He's
exactly.
Great.
Likewise.
And then they're like, oh yeah, he told me to hit you up or whatever, and I was like, yeah. And then when we met, I was like, I don't know if we've like physically, like we've been in the same presence.
I don't think so either. Well,
which is a weird thing.
Yeah, because I feel like Mike Coletta and I did a bunch of shows together. You'd always be like, oh,
Sweet
Hug Life
boy,
podcast. He's a beautiful boy. Beautiful, sweet man.
Yes, the Hug Life podcast.
But I remember like we would do a bunch of shows together and be like, oh, yeah, I know Monica, because yeah, I have to. I must.
I have.
You know what I mean? I must.
That sounds like him, because I have to. I know her because I have to.
Yeah, but I'm glad to. And I'm glad to have reunited / disunited.
I was excited. It's funny because normally for this show that we had done together, they asked me who I wanted to bring with me. And they didn't ask me that this time, and so I was like, okay, well, it'll be whoever it is. And then of course it's someone that I've wanted to like actually work with, and that I know. Like it worked out really well.
Life and
Well,
God, I don't know, fate. I'm happy we're here.
The universe, somebody is speaking to us.
Someone. Could be you. Comment. Hey friends, tattoos are great, aren't they, Monica?
Yes.
Do you have any?
I have 5.
Break them down. We can do like a rank system if you want.
Okay.
We could do like from first to
Wait.
last.
Wait, let's go first to last. I do think I love them all equally.
Okay.
But everyone has a bit of a different story, so I don't know if... So my first one... And I can't show all of them, so I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We'll put in the first one here.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll do all those things.
There,
my first one is on my foot, which I've heard is not comfortable. For me, it was terrible. I hated it. But it says always leave them laughing. And I got it probably 8 months before I started doing stand-up.
Okay.
Right.
So it's not a stand-up tattoo.
No, so people will see it and go, oh,
I get it.
and you're like, oh, that's not actually why I got it. You know, like, that's just a silly thing. But it hurt very badly, and they spelled it wrong.
What is it, like, always leave them, like, gaffing or something?
No,
or what?
I got very lucky, but, so always is the first word, like, under my ankle, and they just forgot the L. They just put always, yeah.
Leave them laughing.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of beautiful.
It was funny because like I got my first tattoo with my grandmother and her sister. They were doing this like bucket list thing where
How old was your grandmother at the time?
at the time, she was probably 76.
Wow.
And her sister was, 79 or whatever. And now they're in their 80s. It was like, so they just like, they went on a hot air balloon ride. They like did all these things. They got tattoos.
They got a tattoo in a hot air balloon.
Yeah, they were doing this bucket list thing. So they were talking to me about it, and I was like, oh no, I want a tattoo. And I'm like 20 at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want a tattoo too. And of course my father's like, what? And I was like, no, like I've thought about it. And like, the tattoo is actually for a family member of ours that had passed away. Like that was her saying, was always leave them laughing. So I knew what I wanted. I knew where I wanted it. And so we go, and I go first, right? So there's these two like 75-year-old, whatever, women waiting to get their first tattoos, which are tiny. It's like a hummingbird and a rose or whatever, like on their ankles.
And you're like a 20-year-old, like a hoodie probably. Like
I know. I'm saying basketball shorts, like my head is against the table, like this is bad, but whatever. So I get it done, and they're all watching the whole thing. Nobody says anything the whole time. So then I get back to the house, I'm like sending photos to people. I send it to my dad, and then he goes, did they spell it wrong? And I was like, oh. So I look at it and I was like, fuck. So I'm just in the other room for like 20 minutes being
like just getting life
furious,
together.
I'm like, I'm pissed, but then I'm like, of course this goes wrong, of course, when things like, when it rains it pours.
Should have got a hummingbird,
other things were like not going well, so I was like, oh, damn it, like it just all added up. So then I call the people, like immediately. We've only been gone for like an hour from the tattoo shop. So
and you're like, by the way.
Oh, and their tattoos look great. It's a beautiful rose, it's a beautiful hummingbird. So I called him back and I was like, hey, I think you spelled it wrong. And he was like, I don't think so. Like, he didn't believe me. And then I was like, okay, well, I can see it, and you did. So he goes and gets the stencil, and he's like, oh, okay. And he goes, come back down right now, and I'll see what we can do, kind of thing. And it was the worst part of the tattoo, was right under my ankle, because that's where it starts.
Of course,
it goes, always leave them laughing, like, around my foot. Yeah. And it's right under that, which was the most painful. That I thought the top of my foot would hurt more, but it didn't.
Was it like close to the ball you were talking about?
Yeah, it's like right underneath, like that ankle joint there. And so that was exactly where he needed to re-tattoo. And he basically like moved it back. So where the A was, he made that the L and moved the A back. And now, if I don't tell you, you don't know.
You don't know, yeah.
When you see it, if I tell you what happened, you can see where it is. Sometimes, but like people, no one knows. That's like I got very lucky. But that's also the classiest tattoo that I have. So.
Oh, there are others that I've heard about that are equally as classy in their own right. I heard one time I got a tattoo of the Bad Brains lightning bolt into the Back to the Future clock tower.
Wait, you got that, or you heard of a tattoo?
I got that.
You have that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was in DC and I was like, the Bad Brains from DC. That'd be a cool thing to get. But how can I like funk it up? And I was like, Back to the Future.
So you get a tattoo everywhere you go?
Every state.
Okay.
And maybe country, but I haven't done anything really. You know what I mean? Anyways, I was like, the
Do you
time.
have space? I'm like worried about the space on your body.
They're like lips, I guess. Here's the thing, I don't want to get my arms.
There are lips, I guess.
Yeah, the inside of my nose.
Well, if you're lucky, you have 4, so that'll be
That's
good.
true,
Yeah.
4 lips. Anyways, hello down there.
I mean, maybe you have maybe more space down there than that. But
well, we can. I don't want to approach that. Maybe you make it look longer, get more shading, just so like under the bright sun it looks.
Cover this part up. That'd be great.
Yeah, is that a mole? We can make one. But they got the time wrong in the clock tower of when the lightning struck, and I was like, "Can we fix this?"
Did you tell them what time it was and stuff? And like this is what I wanted, and then they just got it wrong somehow?
I thought of the lightning bolt, and I thought it could be hitting the Back to the Future tower.
It's seeable right
it
now
is.
or no? You guys are.
Hello.
Put it in there.
This is a very sexy episode. It's this guy right here.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be 10:04, but
it's
not 10:04.
Yeah, that's not 10:04.
It's the opposite of 10:04, if anything. But yeah, and I was like, what can we do to fix it? And he was like, what we could do is we could tattoo over it in white ink and do it like 3 or 4 times and basically like inject white ink to where the black was and picked the scab off. So you're basically like infusing the area, and then when it like bleeds and scabs, you're taking out skin, but you're also taking out ink. So you're basically like scratching off a tattoo after.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's
So
really
over
weird.
what was there before you did that.
Yeah. Isn't that frightening?
No, that's terrifying. I don't know
wouldn't
why
like
you
that
would
at
do
all.
that. No.
I wouldn't like it on my ankle at all.
It's funny because I love having my tattoos. I love them. I love them on my body. I like what they look like. But getting them, I don't hate. I just don't like. I've heard so many people. I've heard so many people be like,
I like it. I love it. I love the feeling.
I'm like, you're fucking insane. That's not how it works. Like, I love having them for sure, but I don't hate getting them, but I don't like it.
Whenever someone's like,
so if they were
actually,
kind of like it, you know what I mean, or it's something that I enjoy. And
I'm like kind of like, this is just like the most awkward flex you can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like cool, but like
I
don't need to know that.
Can't wait to get another
like
one.
yeah,
Well,
either you're lying or you're just like an interesting person who like doesn't vibe with my vibe. Let's not vibe.
That's a very nice way to say that.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more positive. It's the new year,
Good
2020.
for you. Hug life. Yeah.
Hug it all up. Hug the spirit. I want to hear about your 2 alcohol tattoos.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a quick minute.
Okay.
Because
I know I went off that. The more interesting one to me
beer
is
they're not even alcohol tattoos. They're very much
beer.
Domestic beer tattoos.
There's alcohol in there.
There are.
Somewhere.
Is
much
there
less
be.
than you would want there to be. But yeah, I have 2 beer tattoos. So I have the Bud Light logo on my ribs here. But it says my last name in it, so it doesn't say Bud Light, it just says Nevi.
Nevi.
Yeah. And then I have the Corona crown on my chest. The first one, we go on a family vacation every year.
Yeah.
I have a great family.
It sounds like
They're wonderful. They're a good time.
Great 75-year-old tattooed gamilfs.
Yeah, I got so lucky. But we would go to this lake in Washington every year for a week. We still do it. And for a while, we would like make everyone play a beer pong tournament.
Okay.
And they don't even ask questions. They're just like, okay. So it's like the teams are like me and my cousin, and then my dad and my uncle, my mom and my aunt, my grandparents, and then our cousin would like
Uncle Shane.
Yeah, exactly. Like everyone. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's playing.
Nice little nephew.
So we would joke about how if you lost, you had to get a Bud Light tattoo. Because they drank Bud Light, that was their beer.
That's a heavy bet.
Right.
That's a very heavy bet.
And it was a joke for the most part.
Well, was it? Now we have.
I don't want anyone to think that we lost, because we didn't.
I think okay.
We won, of course, and then we would do this for a few years, and then it was in the middle of the year, because normally we do that trip in the summer.
Yeah.
So maybe January. Mitchell and I are texting. That's my cousin. Mitchell and I are texting, and I was like, I would get a Bud Light tattoo, honestly. And he was like, I would too. And I go, what?
Wait, you brought it up, or he brought it up?
I brought it up.
Okay.
But he knew, and so I go, what if we get the Bud Light, like the swoosh, and of course they changed the logo like a month later after we get them. But
yeah, it's not like the bold text.
Right, yeah. Now
I would
it's
have liked a
different.
Nevi one.
But that swoosh one,
yeah.
I was like, what if we get that, but with our last name in it? And his only reply was him having already drawn it. So it looked great. And it was right before I moved, right before I went like on tour and then went to LA.
Yeah.
So we got it like the day
As
before.
like a nice goodbye.
Yeah, it was like a beautiful
gift.
thing.
That's cool.
Right, and it's great, and it's so he has it on his bicep, which is really painful.
You guys both chose painful spots.
Yeah, and then I have it on my ribs. It's tough, but so I could like. It's funny because I wanted it higher up. He was like, "You can't wear a bra," and I was like, "I'm gonna be on tour for."
Yeah.
I can't. That's. No offense to anyone who doesn't wear a bra, but that's not my act. So I was like, I'm gonna
I'll be
figure
fine.
that. So it's actually lower than I really wanted it to because I needed it up higher than where my bra was.
Yeah.
But so we get it together and it's great. It's a fun thing. And then we have a younger cousin who is like, well, I want tattoos. And we're like, okay.
We have an idea for you.
Right,
Text
that's awesome.
drawing.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that like we were just trying to convince her to do it at all. And then we're like, well, what do we get? And it's the dumbest story. Like all of these are dumb. Anyone that hears it is like, well, tell them why you got the tattoo. And I'm like, oh, because my family drinks Bud Light. I guess that's not a good story.
Yeah, but it's a nice pitch.
It is, yeah, I
it's
love
a
it.
beautiful pitch.
So for her, every time we go to Chelan, we like, one of us forgets our bathing suit at some point.
Yeah.
So you have to go to one of those like variety stores or whatever.
And then just like pick through. I did that today in Richland. I went to
Yeah.
a Walgreens and I was like, I hope you guys have gym shorts.
Right.
You know what I mean? They didn't, but they had a great
They
selection
didn't
of...
have a Corona gym short?
They
Because
didn't.
they only have Corona bathing suits. Like that's like a normal, you've seen Corona bathing suits before. So all of us have Corona bathing suits only because at some point we have forgotten our planned bathing suit before that. So we were like joking.
That's another
about
weird
it.
family thing.
It's very silly.
Bud Light and Corona.
You can Google it right now. You can go to my Instagram page and you can find pictures of me and my cousins in our Corona bathing suits. Like just,
wonderful.
Yeah, we only wear them together at this point.
It's Monica's headshot.
Now,
Come out to a club.
I've been sending it for years. They won't put it on. So we like have these bathing suits. We're talking about it. And we're like, oh, maybe the next one should be Corona.
Yeah.
And my uncle was like, oh, you should get cousins spelled out in like the Corona font.
That'd be funny. Yeah.
Right, but Mitchell and
that
Bailey,
nice C.
Mitchell and Bailey aren't cousins, they're brother and sister. So then it was like this whole thing, and we're like, all right. So I was like, what if we just get, by the way, I have, I think I think I have 3 tattoos at the time. And Mitchell has like 5 of 8 now. Like he's got a lot of tattoos.
He's in buildings.
Bailey doesn't have any. So this is gonna be her first tattoo.
Does she know what's coming? Is she like mentally prepared for it? Or is she like, I'm just gonna do this. This will be fun.
She does say yes very quickly, but this is still her first tattoo.
Yeah.
So she's like, all right, fine, we'll do it. We'll do the crown. Nobody really knows. We'll see.
We'll zoom.
Yeah, it's there. It's real.
Word.
People think it's fake, which I think is weird. But
what's cool about the crown though, and I think you've probably gotten this before too, is it's not only like the Corona thing, but it's also just like a cool image. So you can kind of be like, oh, it's just a crown, but also be like, yo, it's a crown.
It does look cool. I mean, it is like a crown, which I don't know how, but there's like, it's so different because there's like starfish. There's like starfish in the middle of it.
Are there starfish in the Corona?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, there are.
Oh, I just thought
so
that was
it's
like
like
a nice
definitely
swivel.
like different. You can tell, like once you look at it, you're like, oh, that is different.
Yeah.
And I didn't just have a crown, which is fine. I mean, whatever.
It has a little to it.
Yeah, there's a thing.
Yeah.
But so she
It has
like,
a Back to the Future clock tower.
when we get, it's bigger than I think all of us.
Hers?
All of us thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Like we were like, oh, we'll just do like. I think with tattoos, sometimes you're like, oh, this will be this size, and then you get there and the tattoo artist is like, yeah, there's no way we can fucking do it that size.
Yeah,
you know
it can't be like this big.
Yeah,
There's like a
you're
million
like,
lines
oh,
in
we
it.
just want the little tiny, and they're like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. So that's kind of what
Can
happened.
I get a photo of my grandmother, just in full realism?
Right, her
but
whole-
only 2 by 3 inches. Would that be okay?
I get Eric's full face
Yeah.
on my back. And
I have a
like,
lot of beard hairs.
It's like really tiny.
So
yeah.
she gets there, and what does she see?
We put it on her because we all wanted it right here on our chest.
Yeah.
And it was a lot bigger than she wanted it to be. So she was like, she said no originally.
Okay.
And we were like, we're not gonna. We'd already gone through this whole thing. We were like,
Yeah.
Mitchell couldn't pay for it. So then I was like, well, I'll pay for it. And then his dad was like, no, I'll pay for it. You know, like there
There
it's
were
not
a lot
going
of
to be just the 2 of us getting
Yeah.
it. We're all getting it.
It was definitely a journey. It wasn't
Yes,
just like
we're doing the thing we said we were gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Is what is happening. So we get there, and I'm like, I'm not good. Like I'm not good. Like I'm not good. Like this is gonna hurt. I
Yeah.
know what's gonna.
We all need to be in it, just even for just morale's sake.
I had just gone through a breakup too. Like it was a horrible time for me, and I was like,
let's fucking put some needles in some shit.
you know what I mean? I was like, let's do this.
Starfish, Coronas.
Yes, we're
let's go.
going. And then they're
Family.
like, I don't know. Mitchell got another tattoo while we were there. He got 2 tattoos that day. And it was a
Good
whole
for him.
thing.
Good
But
for Mitchell.
she gets in and he
Did
was
you pay
like,
for one and his dad paid for the other?
yeah. You know what? I never
You're a great family. You look out for one
never
another.
put that all together. Now
Well-
he was like, Mom, I put the deposit down, but I don't know if I can do it. And then it's like, but you ended up with 2 tattoos that day. Like how? Anyway.
And they're probably wonderful, expensive pieces.
No, I mean his is this, but then one was just words, but still
Okay.
it's like
Does it say always be laughing?
Yeah, it's the ocean.
Bring it back.
I have too many tattoos to talk about. Anyway.
So what does she get? Or does she not get?
She gets it, but
same size.
She won't do it on her chest. It's on her back.
Okay, fair enough.
So if you see the picture, it's the three of us, when both of us are standing forward, and then hers is on her back.
It's like on her back.
Yeah, it's on her back. Which is, it is the same size, it's great. But then, of course, you know, so we get them in November. July is when we go on our vacation.
Yeah.
And we see each other, obviously, a few times. We do Thanksgiving and Christmas and those things. And
couple check-ins.
But everyone's wearing long sleeves. Nothing's really, you know, whatever. By the time we get to Chelan, she has 5 tattoos. Yeah. Which is the same amount that I have.
But over the course of...
like those, like, whatever, 7 months or whatever.
You can't swim in the pond.
We get the one, and of course, but they're all, like, very, like, yeah, it's crazy. Like, she has, like, all these tattoos, like little tattoos. She got one on her ankle, she's got one under here, like all these weird different, yeah. It's
that, you know what, but I'm kind of like, I wouldn't say siding with her. Oh, that's not even, we're not even taking sides.
I'm not mad at her, obviously,
yeah.
But it's just funny that it was such, well, maybe it was such a push that we were, I don't know, she said it too. She was like, I didn't know if I wanted to get a beer tattoo first. I was like, well, we asked you one time and you said yes.
Yes,
and she goes,
It's fair enough, it's fair enough, it's fair enough.
like very quickly, and I was like, well, yeah.
For me, I remember I had like a tattoo somewhere, got a tattoo somewhere else. I was doing the whole thing where I was like getting a tattoo every state. And then I had this like weird run where it was like, yo, I'm going to Virginia, Tennessee, DC, and like, what's the other, Baltimore. Where's Baltimore?
Maryland.
I was Maryland, like all in like.
Geography.
That's American education. I think it was like a month. It was like everything was being hit.
It's
so
like too many tattoos.
But I did it. Cause I was
really?
like, yeah.
Where's that run?
It was like, they're all over. So like, I got
Is
Florida
that
here.
All right, so where do you have? Where's the? Because there's no tattoos here.
No tattoos here.
That's
so
all over your back. All over your back.
more or less. Okay, the breakdown is I got Florida.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Baltimore's right here. Florida's right here, Tennessee's right here, Nevada's right here, Virginia's right here, Arizona's, no, Minnesota's on the back, and then on the legs, I got LA, Arizona, like I have like 3 Portland tattoos, Seattle,
Get more Seattle tattoos.
New Hampshire. I have a few Seattle. I have the Fremont Troll.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm very happy.
You gotta come and do our show, midnight show.
I would love to.
It's very close to the Fremont Troll. You can
We'll,
show them, they'll love it. They'll
we'll
fucking
go.
love it. They're stupid, they'll love it.
Well, no, they're smart. Please come. You're smart.
They're
come
super
to the show.
smart, so they'll love it.
Geniuses, I would dare to say.
don't
Well,
geniuses.
I love beer tattoos. If you love beer tattoos, I know Monica loves beer tattoos, but if you like them or have them, post them in the comments.
Yes.
Show us your stuff. I want to see your beer tattoos. So does Monica. Maybe you have a crown too. You could be Corona.
You could be one of our
sisters.
cousins, Corona cousins.
Mm-hmm.
You could be in the group.
Forever and always.
Or
Thank you for watching. Before we go, Monica, where are you going to be? Where can we find you? What cool series on Amazon Prime might we want to check out in the near future?
Good. Oh, everything is my name, so. Sorry. It was such a good lead-in. You didn't laugh.
That's great.
Monica Nevi. So monicanevi.com, at Monica Nevi, anything. Just search my name. But then the Hug Life podcast. It's a wonderful podcast, very sweet. And then I have a documentary series on Amazon Prime called 80 for 80 that he was clearly referencing before. And then I have 2 albums coming out this year. So it'll be a good time. Get in there.
It's gonna be a great
follow,
year.
Give me a follow. Give me your email, whatever you want.
All the emails. If you need underwear, it's another conversation.
But yes,
we got you.
I have underwear. They're Erik's, but I have them.
They're not my underwear. I don't wear her underwear.
Sorry.
Well, I could. I should.
No,
I'm gonna support.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. You'll figure it out eventually. Come see me live. Come see him live. Yeah, do the things.